name is Stephen Atkinson, and I am a Senior Student Services Administrator in the Office of Grad Ed. I'd like to say welcome, and I'd like to say congratulations to all who received an offer of admissions to RPI. RPI is a wonderful, wonderful school and offers a lot of great opportunities for students. And of course, CoTerminal, the CoTerminal program is one of those great opportunities, and that's what we'll be talking about today. As I go through the slides, I'll be talking about, of course, what the program is. I'll also be talking about some policies of the program, some of the benefits of the program, and I will also be letting you hear from a CoTerminal student. Her name is Jennifer. She's a student in the Lally School of Management, and she's an ambassador for the department. And she'll be talking with you about her experience as a CoTerm and in her degree program, and give some reflections there. So that'll be in a little while. So I'm going to start with talking about what the program is. But once again, welcome to those students who received an offer of admission, and welcome to the parents. When we usually do this event, we have a lot of parents that attend with their students and ask some great questions, so I hope today is no different. Okay, so here we go. Okay, so what is the CoTerminal program? The CoTerminal program is a great opportunity for undergrad students who wish to get their undergrad degree and their their undergrad degree and their master's degree within 5 years. So that's up to 8 semesters for undergrad, and then up to an additional 2 semesters for a graduate school. Those who are interested in the MBA program in the Lally School of Management will get a 3rd semester, as the MBA is a 45 credit program. So that will be 15 credits over the course of 3 semesters, totaling, 1 extra semester for CoTerm in that particular program. Now, we certainly encourage an interdisciplinary approach. So students who are in one program for undergrad do not have to apply to that same department for grad. Certainly they can if they want to, if that's where their interest is, but we certainly encourage multidisciplinary or interdisciplinary education as well. If your master's is in something else, then that just broadens your scope of knowledge, obviously, in another field. Okay, you'll notice here that we talk about co-ops. Co-ops are a great opportunity for students to get some experience in the field. And for the up to 2 semesters, or 3 for the MBA, for those semesters of CoTerm, if a student who's accepted to a CoTerm get the opportunity to do a co-op, and we certainly love when that happens, the co-op does not count against them. It does not count towards the 2 or 3 semesters that you get for CoTerm. It basically stops the clock. You go do your co-op, and then you come back and finish out your degree. Okay, and so how the program works is that once you graduate with your bachelor's degree, you'll graduate with that, get awarded your bachelor's degree, and then you'll come back to finish, or to start your CoTerm master's degree the next semester. Okay, you'll see here in this first slide, we mention the Office of Financial Aid. A lot of students will fill out the FAFSA, the Free Application for Federal Student Aid. We recommend that if you are contemplating CoTerm, you certainly want to reach out to the Office of Financial Aid. Each student's packaging, financial aid packaging is different, and each student's RPI funding is a little different. So you just want to make sure that you're all set in that regard when you're contemplating applying. Now, one of the great things about the CoTerm program is that as an undergrad, your RPI funding that you have as an undergrad, that carries over to your grad degree program. Okay, so that could be the Rensselaer Medal, or some type of merit-based funding or need-based funding from RPI. If you have that as an undergrad, that will carry over to your master's degree program. And that is a wonderful thing to be able to work towards a master's degree and use some of that funding that you had as an undergrad towards that graduate degree. Okay, so let's move on here. Okay, so what's required? Now, every semester, we have an application cycle for CoTerm. So the applications go to the department that the student applies to, and the department will review that application and decide if the student will be admitted. They want the student to be admitted. Once that's determined, that application comes over to the Office of Graduate Education. It comes to me first. I'll review it and then forward that for final approval to the Director of Graduate Student Services. But we're going to talk about a few things that are required for the CoTerminal program. So you see, first we have here the completion of at least 90 credits. That's advanced placement credits, AP credits, transfer credits, and courses in progress. So if you have completed, let's say 80 credits, and you're registered for enough to bring you to that 90, then you have the 90, you can apply. If you wait after you have at least the 90 credits, then the deadline is no later than the first semester of senior year. No later than the first semester of senior year to apply if you wait after you have the 90 credits. You'll see here that the Bachelor's of Architecture students, their program is a little longer, so they have to have a minimum of 101 credits in order to apply to the program. The GPA requirement, excuse me, the GPA requirement is 3.0. Okay, that's the institute minimum, a 3.0. But you'll see that we have here as hyperlinked to the requirements page. The Office of Graduate Education website has a CoTerminal page, and on that page we have all of the degree programs that participate in the CoTerm program and their requirements. So if you have a department that requires, let's say, a 3.2, if they want to accept you with a 3.0, they certainly can do that. But students need to keep in mind that departments have their own degree requirement, GPA requirement, separate from the Office of Graduate Education. Okay. Also, you get into the program with at least a 3.0, and you must graduate from the program with at least a 3.0. All right. Within the application, an approved graduate plan of study. The graduate plan of study is a document that will list all of the graduate courses that are required in your degree program that you will take. Required courses, electives, if you're doing independent studies, anything that applies to your graduate degree program is going to be on that graduate plan of study. And the graduate plan of study goes through a few iterations. If you get accepted into the program and you want to change an elective, we would just need you to fill out a new graduate plan of study or a revised graduate plan of study, because we always have to have one on file in the Office of Graduate Education and in the registrar's office. Okay, a degree works report. The degree works report, that will show all of your undergrad coursework. All of your undergrad coursework. When we get the application, we're looking for that, because remember, students that get admitted into the CoTerminal program must graduate with their bachelor's first and then start work on their graduate degree the semester after. Okay? So when we look at the degree works report, we're looking to see if the student is on track to graduate on time. Okay? And so the fourth and fifth year program planner. The fourth and fifth year program planner is just that. It will show your fourth and fifth year, all of those courses listed on that document. Okay, so when we get the application in, the degree works report and the fourth and fifth year planner, we're looking at both of those, because The courses that you have left to fulfill your undergrad degree requirement, of course, they'll be on your degree works report, but they also should be on your fourth and fifth year planner. So we should see on that fourth and fifth year planner that you're ready to, that you'll be ready to graduate on time, that you have all of the courses on your planner that your degree works report says that you need. All right. If you do not, or if there's something that's amiss, we'll work with the department to try to iron out any discrepancies there. Okay. You'll see in red here, we mentioned the orientation. There is an Office of Graduate Education academic orientation every semester. Okay, every semester we do that. It is a really nice event. There are a lot of different things offered for students on that day. It's really a great time for students to mingle and meet other students and meet the staff and a lot of people in the OGE office and in other departments on campus. Okay. So we talked about the degree works report and the fourth and fifth year planner and the graduate planner study, all components of the application. The graduate planner study is probably the heart of the application because obviously it contains all of your courses for your grad degree program. But when we get the application, we're looking to see that obviously all of the components are there and that everything matches up. You're on track to graduate with your bachelor's when you're supposed to. Your graduate plan of study follows the program curriculum as stated by the RPI catalog. And obviously that your GPA is at least a 3.0. And if those things are all aligned and where they should be, then that definitely lends itself to being approved for the CoTerminal program. So we have some policy items here. You'll see, I spoke about number one, talking about courses being listed on the plan of study and the planner. You'll see here, that we say that we remind students that when you're listing your courses on these documents, the course numbers, titles, the number of credits should all be accurate. Your graduate plan of study should match your fourth and fifth year planner because your fourth and fifth year planner is going to have your graduate courses on there as well. So that's just, we ask that, some due diligence happens on the part of the student and the advisor to make sure that, all of those things are correct, before we get the application. Okay. If we jump down to number 4, quickly, we talk about taking grad courses as an undergrad. As an undergrad, students definitely can take graduate courses if they have room in their schedules. Now, as it stands, undergrad students can take a pretty good number of credits per semester. But if an undergrad student wants to take a graduate course, a 6,000 level course, to get a jump start on the grad degree, then there's a cap of no more than 16 credits. You'll see that there, bolded in red and highlighted. No more than 16 credits when mixing grad and undergrad courses. Okay, so we really try to keep with that number to definitely set students up for success and not have them try to overload with grad courses, especially as undergrads. We wouldn't want them to be overloaded credit wise or jeopardize their GPA. Okay. Okay, so we're on to application deadlines. Now, we have actually 3 deadlines. With the Arch program that we have now, we've added a deadline of August 1st. So our 3 deadlines are May 1st, which we're coming up on pretty soon. That's for fall admits to the program. And then we have November 15th, which is the deadline for spring admits. And we've also added, you'll see there in red, the last line in red, with Arch. Now we have another deadline, that's August 1st, for students graduating with their BS degree the semester after the Arch semester. August 1st is the deadline for that application. Okay. One important thing to keep in mind before I move on to the next slide, in speaking about deadlines, is that each department, the Lally School of Management, computer science, civil engineering, mechanical engineering, these departments have their own deadlines. So if the Office of Grad Ed, if we need all of the applications from the department, let's say by May 1st, which we do, then that means that the department will have had to have reviewed all of the applications prior to May 1st to have them all ready to submit to us. So if you go on the OGE website, the Office of Graduate Education website, to the CoTerminal page, you'll see under degree programs, each program lists what their deadline is. So for our May 1st deadline, most departments will do April 1st or April 15th. And those are the two dates that students need to have their applications into the departments so that their committee can review and hopefully approve, and then forward them over to the Office of Graduate Education for our review and final approval. Okay. Once the applications are approved in our office, then we send them over to the Office of Admissions. Admissions will process the application and send out a congratulations email to the student in their RPI email. Okay, so at this time, I'm going to take a pause before I just recap some things and ask our student from the Lally School, the student ambassador, her name is Jen. She's going to come on and talk a little bit about her experience in the Lally School as a TC&E student, technology, commercialization and entrepreneurship, a master's degree program, and as a co-term. Hi, Jen.
All right. Hello, everyone. I just wanted to come on and give everyone a little bit of information about my past experiences at RPI, especially as it pertains to the CoTerm program. So, as Stephen said, my name is Jennifer Maskavich. My hometown is Stillwater, New Jersey. I got my undergraduate degree in biomedical engineering at RPI. And while I got my undergraduate degree, I also participated in the Arch program as one of the first students. So I have a little bit of background with that. Because of that program, I went away for a spring semester and did a co op. And then as I transitioned from undergrad to graduate, I was able to also have an internship. So I've navigated some of that. And then during grad school, I'm now in the Lally School, participating in the Technology Commercialization and Entrepreneurship program. So some of the great things about this was I actually was able to decide pretty late on during my undergraduate degree. I came back from my co-op in the fall of senior year and decided that getting a graduate degree was something I was really interested in. So I was able to very easily go about the process with my undergrad advisor and an advisor from the Lally School. And within just a few weeks, I was able to figure out how to apply, how the financial aid would carry over. I was able to keep my RPI medal for this fifth year, so that was huge, very helpful. And it was a very easy, seamless process, not having to go through the GREs testing and some of the different things that applying to other grad schools would require. So it was a great and easy process. I was lucky enough I got accepted. And so then I started it up this past fall. and it's been a great experience. I've been able to stay on campus for a fifth year, so I'm familiar with everything already. There's a lot of great programs within the graduate school, participating in some different entrepreneurship activities and things like that. And it's been a really great experience, as well as working with admissions to kind of go around campus and
Okay,
talk to
thank you
students
so
about
much,
how much
Jen,
of a
for
great
that.
experience I've been having
So we
and
are
see if it's
going
something that
to
they'd be interested in.
move
So
on
I'm
to the
here if
recap
anyone
because I want
has
to get
any
to some
questions
questions.
about any of
There
my
are,
undergrad experiences,
some
the
questions that
process with CoTerm, what
students and
grad school is like at
probably some parents
RPI.
have, and so
I'm
we
here and
definitely want to
open
make
for any
time to get to
questions you
those.
might have.
And once again, Jen, I want to thank you for taking the time to share your experience with the students and parents that are participating in the webinar today. Okay, all right. So um, the here is sort of the process in a nutshell. I want to move through this and get to some of the questions that we have. So this is pretty much what the process
No
looks
problem.
like. Um, you'll see there, those steps. Students, once there is that interest and a student decides, okay, I want to apply to CoTerm, we recommend that students meet with their undergraduate advisor first, and then financial aid to um, just see where they stand funding wise, which is always an important factor, obviously. Okay, and once the student contacts the department that he or she is going to apply to, the graduate plan of study comes into play. That is like the heart of the application. So um, you would develop a graduate plan of study with um, your potential graduate advisor, and you would also get together your fourth and fifth year planner for your application. You would then submit the application with all materials, the degree work report, the graduate plan of study, the fourth and fifth year planner. This, first 2 pages of the application, any uh, statement of purpose, uh, recommendation letters. I will say that for CoTerm, for most CoTerm programs, there is no GRE required. For most CoTerm programs, there is no GRE required. And for CoTerm, the Office of Graduate Education, we do not require any letters of recommendation or statements of purpose. But if the department that you're applying to requires any of those things, then we would expect to have that with your application. Okay. Number four, once we approve your application, once the department approves your application, we'll get the application to the Office of the Office of Graduate Education. We'll do the review, and then if all is right with the application and there's no need to go back to the department to try to iron out any discrepancies anywhere, then we'll get that right over to the Office of Graduate Admissions for processing. And then again, the student will receive a congratulations letter in their RPI email. And then you're a CoTerm student. Okay. And so with that, I'm going to leave some contact information here. So if there are any, the questions that we can't get to, or if anyone thinks of anything after, um, our session here is over, you can certainly contact me, and I will answer your questions for you. Okay. So let's get to